Welcome to Mainland Television, Nelson's regional station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and this week's news roundup: Winds of Time prove timeless, super cave discovery in Tasman, local man speaks up for Iran, rescue helicopter rushed off its blades, ducks race it off on the river, event turns lights off for a year, Kaiteri draws in a crowd, and no holiday for Natureland. This week, organisers saw a good turnout for the evening event launch of the Nelson Arts Festival Winds of Time at Founders Park on Thursday night, and Mainland was there too. This evening display was designed as a celebration for the 20th year of the festival's existence in its present form. The installation was created by Delaney Kennedy, with soundscape by Gene Kennedy, and the studio production by Dark Room. Winds of Time was designed to bring to life the spirit of the festival through the magic of projection mapping using Founders Park historical windmill as the canvas. If you missed this display, then you can still see this installation at Founders Park, occurring every evening from 9 p.m. through to Sunday the 26th of October. What do Stormy Pot, Nettlebed and Bulmer have in common? You may well ask. Try caver and outdoor pursuit specialist Kieran McKay. Mainland's Chrissy Small spoke with Kieran in our studio this week just as he was heading off for a trip to Europe to speak about the New Zealand caves. We asked him about the brand new discovery of a super cave system by two of his caving team members this month.
I'm here with Kieran McKay. Now, Kieran is a caver. He's used to small spaces, so he's moved down to Nelson. Kieran, why did you make the move to this region?
Well, I kind of love the region. Well, the reason I love the region is there's lots of caving around here, and I come here just about every summer to go caving. So my wife and I decided, well, why don't we just move down there and live down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we made the move about nearly a month ago, and we're living in Golden Bay.
Oh, it's a great place to be over there, isn't it?
Amazing. Yes.
Do you think it's like going over to a different world when you go over that hill?
Yeah, I feel like that. Yep, you discover this hill, and suddenly things are just, they're really different, a lot more relaxed and a lot more chilled out. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, it must be, because caving isn't what I'd call a relaxing and chilled out form of entertainment.
It's funny you should say that, because a lot of people don't think it is, but it really is quite relaxing. It really is. When you think about it, all we have to deal with is we have to eat, we have to look after ourselves, and we have to sleep, and we go exploring. And that's all we've got to deal with. Above ground,
right.
Oh,
you've got the stress of the world.
Exactly, you've got the stress of the world above ground. It's horrible.
The only stress that I would find is those tight, squeezy places in caves, which you often have to deal with.
Yeah, a lot of people, that's the first thing people start talking about is, those horrible tight places. But a lot of places we explore are actually really big. We don't want to go through horrible tight things all the time. We want to find big stuff. So I reckon about 90% of the stuff we find is huge. Mm-hmm. And occasionally you've got to go through some incredibly tight spots. Well, just got to deal with that at the time, and yes, some of them are very hard.
Right. Okay. So you've just discovered earlier in the year the biggest cave system, second biggest cave system in the world, here.
It's not quite it's the second deepest kind of through cave in the southern hemisphere. It's about the fifth deepest through trip in the world, and that was found on Mount Arthur. Yeah. And I made the connection between two big systems in January this year.
Right.
Yeah, and that's been worked on. The Nettlebed system is the bottom of the cave, and we've got the Stormy Pot system, which is the top end of the cave.
Right. And so the whole thing is all linked up. Now, you've just found, colleagues of yours have just discovered another system. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, in Mount Owen, we've got a really big cave system that many people have been exploring for the last 25 years. And it's on the southern side of Mount Owen. It's called the Bulmer system. It's now 72 kilometres long.
Wow.
Now, most of the water in Bulmer actually flows out to the south towards Murchison. There's one stream, and the way at the back of Bulmer that actually flows towards the north, and we've always wondered whether it would actually cross the drainage divide, and we didn't know where that water went. So 2 or 3 years ago, a friend of mine put some special dye in that water, and then he spent 10 days looking for it, and he found out that the dye actually came out in the Blue Creek Spring on the northern side of the mountain, about 8 kilometres away from where he actually put the dye in. Now, it was a really, really faint trace, and not many people were quite happy with the trace, so we just decided to go back and do it again. a friend of mine from Wellington, Marcus Thomas, he organised a trip and a whole bunch of new dye, and we went in 2 weeks ago, put the dye in the stream, and a day and a half later it turned up in Blue Creek. And
So
it was
that-
very positive.
Right, and that's a long time, a day and a half for that to travel in water, which, is what's the flow of this stream like, or is it is it a river, or what is it?
Well, to travel 8 kilometres and take a day and a half, it's actually very quick, really, really quick.
Ah.
Well, to us, it's really exciting because it means that it's got to be an open streamway,
Right.
yeah, from where we put the dye into where it comes out.
Okay.
And that's really exciting because we know it's something we can go and explore. And probably most of us better get into and explore. Yeah.
As long as you're not big and and have a fear of small places.
yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Kieran, so what's the next step now that you're all getting excited? I guess there'll have to be you're going to attack it, aren't you? You're going to go and find.
Yeah. So the next step now is to we're getting together a team to go into the cave to carry a set of diving gear into the cave, because right at the end where we put the dye in, the water goes, basically the whole cave goes underwater, and we have to dive. So we thought we'll get one diver in there. They're going to help me carry my gear in. I'll do the dive, and then find out what's on the other side.
Right.
And if the cave opens up and just away it goes, then we have to sit back and think what to do next, because suddenly it's getting really serious. We're getting a long way from the entrance, really, really isolated, and we have to think about, well, what do? Do we train up other people to get in there? Yeah, we just don't know.
Yeah.
We've got to figure it out when
Yeah.
figure it out when it happens, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
it is. It's play it by ear when you're in there.
Yeah, and that's the neat thing about caving, is that you come across all these incredible obstacles, and you just have to create ways to get around them, get over them, get through them, whatever. And that's really exciting part of caving. And if you have to learn new techniques, well, we go away and learn new techniques to pass the obstacle.
Yeah. Now, Kieran, what about people that would love to try this kind of thing out? That would, don't have a fear of dark, cold, wet spaces. How can they get involved in this kind of thing safely?
The best way to actually get involved is to join the local club.
Yeah.
And the Nelson's got a really active local club, and they've done a lot of amazing exploration in the area, and that way they'll get to go caving with some incredibly good people, really good cavers, and they can learn those techniques as they go caving with them. And they'll start off in some easier caves, but very quickly they'll start learning techniques to get them into the deeper and deeper caves. And if they're fit, they'll be going off doing some big exploration trips quite quickly.
What makes this area so wonderful for caving?
It's a mecca of caving in New Zealand, this area. And then the reason is that we've got the Mount Arthur Range up there, and the Mount Arthur Range is basically huge expanses of marble, and marble's a carbonate rock which the caves form in. And so we've got Takaka Hill, Mount Arthur, Mount Owen, and they're high, up to 1,800 metres high, and they're huge. And in those mountains we've just got these enormous cave systems which we're only just starting to scratch the surface.
Right, so this is an ideal place for anyone that wants to learn to cave. This is the perfect place to begin.
Oh, absolutely. It's a perfect place to begin, because you've got Takaka Hill, which the caves aren't quite as deep. Yeah, some of them are long. They've got a 30-kilometre long system up there now. But they're not quite as deep. Access is really easy. And you've got Mount Arthur, where the access is a little bit harder, and the caves are getting very, very deep. And then Mount Owen as well, which to get into the caves there is actually quite hard. But the caves are fantastic, really, really big, long caves.
Yeah, I quite like those caves which have lights and walkways and handrails. Very safe. But of course, those that are more adventurous, they can go a little bit further and go through crawl spaces and streams and lakes and all sorts. And some of the pictures that you've got of some of these amazing cave systems, I mean, they look like another world altogether. I mean, you must.
Well, it is. It is a completely new world, and that's what it's like. It's like stepping out of this one that we know really well into a completely different world, and in that world, you just don't know what's going to be around the next corner. I mean, that's what exploration's about, is not knowing what's around the next corner. We're laying the first footprints into a landscape that formed before mankind existed on this planet. And our light's the first light to ever light it up.
That's right.
It's an amazing feeling.
Do you find all kinds of weird, kind of creepy crawlies down there?
No, you don't actually.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Well, if you do, they're tiny. They're absolutely tiny. They're millimetres across. Not something that. It's not like you see in the movies where these big monsters come along and eat you. No, it's nothing like that.
No taniwha.
No, they're all tiny wee creatures. Further away from the entrance you get, the less food supply there is, so everything gets really, really small. But there are some quite bizarre little creatures down there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Kieran Mackay, it's a real pleasure to have you in studio today to talk about this. I'm sure we're going to talk some more about you and about it with you in the future.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, Mount Owen sounds like that's going to be the place to be
Yes. Yeah.
later in the year, and we'll be listening out for the news of your great discoveries. And
That'd be great. That'd
yeah,
be really good.
best of luck.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's awesome.
Mainland was lucky enough to have Nelson resident Farouz Zidar come into our studio to tell us about his talk this week at the Nelson Public Library, his new book, and what message he is trying to get across about his country of birth, Iran. Farouz, what's the main message you're trying to get out to people with these talks that you're doing at the moment?
It is the understanding of Middle East, the complex situation in there, and Islam, because a lot of people misrepresent Islam. They really are not the true Muslims, because the Muslim religion is a peaceful religion. And the formation of ISIS and all of the things that they have done in there, because the powerful countries wanted to get the oil from the Middle East. Now these bank robbers, under the name of Islam, they are really trying to take the oil for them. It's all money, greed, and everything. A whole lot of people in those countries are being butchered and killed in thousands and hundreds, being homeless, and nobody is really doing anything. Unfortunately, the mainstream media never tells the exact truth or the whole truth, or they don't know, either because of lack of knowledge or because of covering for their politicians. They do not really tell everything that it is happening in there. But this book is a very, very unbiased, neutral, showing the other side of the coin so people can understand what has happened, how many people have suffered, how many people have died because some companies or some countries wanted to get oil from the Middle East.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, from listening to your talk yesterday, I think we all learn a lot, and it's quite amazing to see how Iran is compared to the way that it is portrayed in the mass media.
Well, American negative publicity of Iran has always been Muslim terrorists. They are trying to build a bomb and destroy the world. Iranians are builders, not destroyers. Iran has not attempted or started a war with another country in the last 200 years. They defended their country against Saddam Hussein, which U.S. basically supported Saddam financially and militarily to attack Iran. They defended themselves, and they are very, very well prepared to defend again. But unfortunately, because their failure in Iraq, that they couldn't get the oil from Iraq, they did not have any idea. I mean, Saddam did not have weapons of mass destruction. Saddam did not have anything to do with 9/11. Saddam was not a danger to the world. As a matter of fact, Osama bin Laden called Saddam a sick Arab because he would not allow one Al-Qaeda member in the country. There was some life in there. The same thing happened in Libya. They just destroying life in there because they wanted to get their oil. Is Iraq a better country now than it has been with Saddam? Is Libya a better country? What is happening in Syria? I mean, God, they had the life. Syria was one of the most beautiful Islamic countries with freedom of religion. They are supporting, they paid money and ammunition to terrorists, to Al-Qaeda, that now they have turned to ISIS to destroy, to take care of Assad, president of Syria. Well, who is the one to say they have to move their president of another country? It really is unfair, and I just wanted people to realize everything in there is explained very, very well. The situation in Middle East, they go in there, take a land out of some people, give it to another people. They draw lines in there that it wasn't there before. And The terrorism comes from desperation, not from religion. Islam does not promote terrorism. Desperation does. And to me, and the way I write this book, because I'm a peace advocate, I love to see peace in the world. That's why I love New Zealand, because New Zealand are peaceful people. They are a kind of people that they say, live and let live, nuclear free, but every other big country wants to grab resources from other places, which at the end, it becomes a negative consequence at the end.
Things just seem to be getting busier and busier for our Nelson Marlborough Rescue helicopter here in Nelson, with recent call-outs taking them off in every direction. We went to speak with the rescue on-board paramedic Ernie about the call-outs, spending a night out on a mission and their fundraising efforts of late.
Hi there, I'm here today to talk about the Nelson Marlborough Rescue Helicopter with Ernie. So Ernie, at the moment it's been quite a busy time. What kind of averages are you getting for call-outs a month at the moment?
This year's had a marked increase in our call-outs. We're averaging 40 missions a month for the total of the year. Last year we did around 360 missions total. This year we've already gone through that and it's only October. So yeah, averaging 40 a month.
Wow, that's insane. So recently there was a crew member had to stay overnight with an injured man. What's like the procedure for instances like this? Like, is there a backup paramedic on call in case one has to stay out?
Sure. So what happens in a situation like that, that's not really commonplace. That was due to weather that we left them where we did, safely in a hut. So when we come back, we're then at the mercy of St John being able to provide us with another paramedic so that we can still continue and then go back the next day and pick that person up. Because we're a small group with only a couple of pilots and a couple of crewmen and the St John guys, that workload that we're talking about, plus missions like this where we're leaving people, start stretching us because we don't have the funding and resources to have 3 or 4 other people ready to step in at a moment if we're tired or can't do something. So it's a bit of a vicious circle. You need more people, you can't get more people because you haven't got the money. If you drop somebody out of that loop, such as we did with the guy staying in the hut, then it puts a strain on everybody else.
Okay, well hopefully you can find some more people soon. But so you've just said your Trade Me auction just finished last night, I believe. How did that all go in the end?
It was good. The Trade Me auction was part of the Plains Fire and Rescue, and we had a premiere in State Cinema with the kids, most of who dressed up in an appropriate sort of thing. And the State Cinemas gave us some of the promotional items, mobiles and posters and bits and pieces, which we put on Trade Me so that if people wanted to be able to access or get those, they could bid. And they both sold, and yeah, we'll look forward to doing something similar again.
Oh, awesome. So talking about something similar, have you got stuff coming up soon that people could maybe get involved with?
The main one we've got coming up in very recent times will be the AMP show at Marlborough. Which we went to last year as well, so we'll be there. We'll have the aircraft there for close-up viewing and be able to meet us. You know, that's always the highlight. We'll also probably look at running auctions again on Trade Me, and there's a couple of other things we've sort of got in the pipeline that if we can make them work, we can get people involved through either Facebook or our website to sort of be a bit more of a part of what we're going on. So yeah, there's always things on the way. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, so hopefully we can get you some more likes on Facebook so people can get involved.
Yeah. Well, we do. We use Facebook to be able to let anybody see sort of what we're doing within reason, the amount of work that we're doing, the type of jobs we're doing, and getting a bit of access to what we're about rather than just hearing about us in the paper or what have you.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for your time, and hopefully this will help you get a bit more promotion and maybe find a few more crew members.
Thank you.
Awesome.
The people of Nelson showed their support for their community volunteer organisations, turning out in flocks to support the St John Ambulance fundraiser. Although it was a bit slow going with the tide and a sea breeze, seeing some of the ducks winging their way upriver at times. However, people enjoyed the spectacle of fleets of hundreds of ducks in the lovely Nelson spring weather. We talked with organiser Sarah McCabe, who gave us the results of the race for the ducks and for St John Nelson. It was a great day at the Mai Tai yesterday with the St. John's fundraiser. Sarah, how did it go for you guys? Can you tell us a little bit more about who won and how much money was raised?
Sure, thanks Graham. Yes, it was a great day. It was a rather slow duck race yesterday, a little bit slower than last year, but everybody enjoyed themselves and all the ducks got safely home.
Oh, that's great. And who was the winner? Who was you had corporate and private ducks?
That's right. We had sponsored ducks. People paid $10 a ticket for those, and the first placed duck home was number 89, and the winner was Stephen Galbraith, and he has won a $1,000 voucher for flights on Virgin Australia from Mondo Travel, which is a fantastic prize.
Oh, yeah.
And the first corporate duck home was Crowha with Scrooge McDuck was his name, and he managed to get in first. And the best dressed duck was the Ray White Richmond duck, who sort of was a houseboat kind of duck, and he won the best dressed duck prize.
Oh, okay. Well, look for them. We've got it all on film. And how long? When did it actually end?
Right. Well, we took off about 1 o'clock,
Yep.
and we had everyone back, I think, just about 3 o'clock. So it was a very leisurely race down the river. But I think the corporate ducks quite enjoyed showing off on the way down. Some of them moved all around the river and got caught up with different little ducks.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
No, it was great, all right. Light Nelson, the City Outdoors Midwinter exhibition of light installations, is taking a year off to regroup after a successful event this year that surprised organisers with a massive turnout on the last evening after the weather had not been cooperative for the opening night. With most people coming on the last evening of the 3-day event, Light Nelson Trust Chair Brian Riley said the decision not to stage the event until 2016 had been given a lot of thought and discussion by the trustees. It was made regretfully and was based on the overwhelming turnout for this year's Light Nelson in July. He said that their best guess for attendance this year was 10,000 people, but they had 40,000, which took them straight into the year 4 of their 10-year plan. Taking it to the next level, Riley said, means doubling the budget, so now Light Nelson is talking with their benefactors and major partners, including the Nelson City Council. The celebration of the completion of the Great Taste Trail from Nelson to Kaiteriteri took place on the weekend, drawing people to take part in activities of all kinds at Kaiteriteri Beach. However, it wasn't just the people that were excited. Chrissy Small spoke with Kath Saunders from Motueka, who was out on the water during the event.
Look, I'm speaking with Kath Saunders. Now, Kath was out on the water in Little Kaiteriteri on the weekend. Kath, why were you out on the water?
We were out in Wakaama. I'm part of the Motueka Wakaama Club, and in conjunction with the opening of the bike trail out from Motueka to Kaiteri, we were just asked if we would be able to take people out for kind of like a have-a-go day. So that's why we were out on the water on Saturday.
Great. Now, obviously, you were joined by some unexpected guests.
Oh, look, it was amazing. There was a huge pot of dolphins that had come right into Kaiteri Bay, and it was just magical. They come in quite close, and there was a lot of them, and they stayed for a long time. So it's just an added bonus. I mean, they were underneath the waka and just all around us, and yeah, really playful. They were out to have a good time. So it was a beautiful day out there anyway, so it's quite magical to have them come along.
Did they create any danger for anyone, or was it just a wonderful experience?
No, they looked like they were just a bunch of kids coming out for a play. They were just jumping out of the water and then diving underneath us. We found as we kept paddling, they wanted to play a bit more. Obviously, they were just interacting with us, really friendly, not a problem at all. There's a couple of paddle boarders out there and sea kayakers as well, so yeah, they got to see it too. So it was a magical day.
So it would have been an amazing experience to have been in the middle of all of that.
Oh yeah, look, some of the people that were on the waka that hadn't been out paddling before were asking us if we saw this every day, and I said no. So it's certainly not an everyday occurrence. So yeah, it was pretty magical to have them out there on that day, and you could see them right from the shore. So they were there for a long time and having a really good play. It was fantastic.
How many were in the pod, do you think?
I would say at least 15, and there was a little baby in there as well, so that was quite cool to see. It's definitely something you don't always see, and
Yeah. So
to come right in close was great.
did they eyeball you?
No, they were just I guess coming to check us out, saw that we were no threat, so obviously pretty happy to stay around and play.
Yeah. Well, what an amazing experience, and great for the tourists to have experienced that there in Little Kaitieri.
Oh, definitely, because they came right into the beach. There was people standing on the beach at Little Kaitieri, and they came right in there. So, yeah, it was, definitely a magic day.
Yeah, so a great selling point for the area, really, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, and something worth saying for sure.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
From small cars to trucks to commercial vehicles, we have all the leading brands of tyres, including Bridgestone. Our local professional qualified team serve the entire region 24/7. Tasman Tyre Treads, serving Richmond, Motueka and Golden Bay.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more. JCar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
The majority of information in our life comes to us through our vision. With only one set of eyes to last our lifetime, it's important that you look after them. For over 20 years, Carrington Eye Care has led the way in providing the Nelson Tasman region with professional eye care. Our team are committed to providing you and your family with the highest standard of eye care. As part of this commitment at Carrington Eye Care, we recommend Crizal lenses. Crizal is a revolutionary lens which repels dust and fingerprints. This means it's easier to clean and stays cleaner longer. Visit us at our Nelson, Richmond and practices and ask about our Crizal satisfaction guarantee.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonneau covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
Sit and Be Fit is on at the Victory Community Centre Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. at the Victory Community Church, 238 Upper Vanguard Street. School terms only. Fun while you get fitter, work at your level. For more information, please contact Shirley on 547 1433 or 021 121 8023. Follow the treasure hunt route around the Victory community to explore local treasures. Enjoy fun activities at each station, plus great spot prizes, free food and giveaways. Get your passport stamped to go into the treasure chest drawer. The event is designed to be fun for all ages and will go ahead rain or shine. Dress in bold and beautiful clothing. It's on Sunday the 19th of October at Victory Park and the start time is 12:45 p.m. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Discover the Belgrove Tavern, just 20 minutes south of Richmond on State Highway 6. A restaurant, functions, weddings, barbecue, a garden bar with lots of room for kids. Come in, see us.